bags, some good food, and just had a good time.
That is a good time right there. I went to the pool and got absolutely sunburned. So, but again, it was a safe, enjoyable 4th of July. And tonight for the Slammers, Thomas, we've got the tall right-handed pitcher, number 34, Cam Ofterhide, on the bump to go up against these strong Grizzlies.
Yeah, Cam Ofterhide coming off the IL, 6'3", 200 pounds, out of Rancho Santa Margarita, California. Love it every time I say it. He's had 7 starts this year, made his 8th appearance just a couple days ago. He's 1-4 on the year, 35 innings pitched, an 8.49 ERA and 27 strikeouts. It's been a little bit of a down year for Cam. We saw how good he could be last year, kind of the ace for the Slammers early in the season before Cole Cook really came on towards the middle of the year last year. But this year has not been his greatest. He had a very good first start against Sussex County. He went 5 2/3 innings, 5 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. And since then, he's given up about 4 runs or more each outing. So it's going to be a difficult start for Cam Ofterhide coming off the IL. But who knows? Maybe he has a good night. And especially here at Dooley with a good crowd here tonight, maybe Cam can feed off that a little bit today.
Well, I was watching on National Geographic. They have not Shark Week, but Shark Month. And I tell you, the Grizzlies right now smelling blood in the water. They're looking to finish strong before the All-Star break, which takes place over in neighboring Crestwood, home of the Thunderbolts. So that should be a pretty good show next week. And Gabe Holt, their lefty second baseman, is up. And with the short porch and right, Ofterhide's got to be really, really careful with these pitches. Swinging at the first pitch, popped up. And it looks like Tyler DePretta Johnson will range out in the short left and grab that for out number 1. And let's go ahead and take a look at the defense for your Joliet Slammers.
Yeah, for Joliet, a little bit of a switch up here tonight. Lane Bearmore in left field, Matt Feinstein in center for Liam MacArthur. Scott Holzwasser out in right field today. Then on the infield, Will Salas at third, Tyler DePretta Johnson at short, Matt McGarry at second, Matthew Workington at first, and Mike Falsetti behind the dish today. And you talked about Gabe Holt. I mean, 1 pitch, 1 out, and that's a tough out, maybe the toughest out of the night, potentially, in Gabe Holt for Cam Ofterhide, a guy who's getting on base with a staggering .514 on-base percentage, Bill.
I agree. If you can get someone out like that on a pitch, first pitch or second pitch, that gives you a little bit momentum. And there's a big swing there by Richards, deep to right, and that one's gone.
Yeah.
And we talked about it. He got a good pitch. Cam Ofterhide left it hanging over the meat of the plate, and Jarius Richards, their right fielder, makes it 1-0 Grizzlies.
Yeah, we know this Grizzlies team offensively just so good, and they hit the long ball very often and very frequently and very well. And you take a look, and a lot of these guys with a lot of home runs. That's a 7th for Jarius Richards, and he gets the Grizzlies on the board early.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the lineup for the Grizzlies. You saw Gabe Holt, Jarius Richards with the solo home run to right. Andrew Penner up right now, followed by Peter Zimmerman. Abdiel Diaz, this one hit down to third. Nice stop by Salas. Gets a nice throw over to first. And Workington, using his very large ranging arms, makes it out number 2. What a play by Salas.
Yeah, good play by him. He's defensively this season, Will Salas has been just as good as anybody on the Slammers. And we talk about how good this defense is, one of the top teams in the Frontier League. But they've had a little bit of a rough stretch recently. 7 errors in 2 games against Evansville in those 2 losses after having just 12 all season. So that defense has kind of struggled a little bit, but a good play by Salas there. And definitely taking advantage of Matthew Workington's length, and they definitely missed that over at first base.
Yeah, he was injured in the Windy City Thunderbolt series over in Crestwood, and it was a mild injury. Obviously, he's able to come back right here when we need him really the most, and that play shows right there his range at first.
And now maybe the second biggest out for Cam Ofterhide here in this game itself all night is going to be Peter Zimmerman, one of the top hitters in the Frontier League.
And he barrels one up directly to Feinstein in center field for out number 3. Grizzlies score on a Jarius Richards solo home run. It's 1-0. Slammers coming up in the bottom of the first here on the Game of the Week on FloBaseball.
And now riding in under
Lysick on the sideline with another opportunity. Here's a shot. Scores once again. Jake Lysick becomes the lead scorer for Steel City FC this year as Jake Lysick comes away with the one there, his 7th goal of the season.
Welcome back to Dooley Health and Care Field. I am Bill Downing, joined by Thomas English tonight. 1-0 Grizzlies, and on the bump for your Gateway Grizzlies that come in here at 30-16, and well, they're not our team, but they are definitely the team to beat right now. And Colin Sullivan on the bump, Thomas.
Yeah, Colin Sullivan, the all-star right-hander for the Grizzlies, 6 foot 200 out of DeBary, Florida. Formerly with the Hillsboro Hops, the minor league team for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's made 8 starts this year. He's 6-2, 53 innings pitched, 2.21 ERA, and just been dominant all season. Last outing wasn't a great one for him. He went 5 innings, gave up 10 hits, 5 earned runs, did strike out 6, but gave up a pair of home runs. So looking to shut down the struggling Slammers offense this season.
Matt Feinstein, Scott Holzwasser, Matthew Workington due up here in the bottom of the first. They trail 1-0 on a Jarius Richards solo home run. And this one drilled down the first base line, but foul.
Yeah,
It was a count 2-2.
Yeah, Matt Feinstein kind of being shifted to the top of the lineup. Has kind of seen himself in a variety of places through the order, but he's been doing a great job at just getting on base so far this season when he is that leadoff hitter for the Slammers. Especially allowing Liam MacArthur to see more pitches and get used to what the pitchers are doing in this first inning.
Yeah, first strikeout of the game. Feinstein down on strikes, and that's going to bring up Scott Holzwasser. Let's take a look at the defense tonight for the Gateway Grizzlies.
Yeah, for the Grizzlies in left field, it's Andrew Penner, the all-star for them. Eric Rivera in center field, Jarius Richards in right. Then on the all-star infield, every single infielder for the Grizzlies been named an all-star this year as Holzwasser flies one out to the right side. Will it get down? It won't, as the all-star Gabe Holt ranges from second base to make the catch. And as I was saying, an all-star infield, DJ Stewart, all-star, third base. Abdiel Diaz, all-star, shortstop. We just saw the all-star play from Gabe Holt there at second. And then at first, it's all-star Clint Freeman, and behind the dish, it's Alex Hernandez for the Grizzlies.
That was a great play, as you mentioned, by Gabe Holt. And he had to range a long way from second base to make that play, and he slid right between home plate and the pitching rubber for the bullpen for the Slammers. And I tell you, he's got a lively arm. We've seen him up to 91 already. Should be a pretty good battle here with Workington.
Yeah, it could be something that Workington feeds off of with that velocity, just getting that bat to the ball. He's such good hands for how tall he is, just able to get his hands inside that baseball, and he really drives it to all parts of the field.
He sure does, and he was definitely fooled on that. As I mentioned, he goes 91 That pitch right around 80. Huge difference. Taking a look at the lineup, Matt Feinstein, Scott Holzwasser, Matthew Workington in the box right now, followed by Phil Steering, Matt McGarry, Lane Barrymore, Tyler DePreta-Johnson, Will Salas, and Mike Falsetti. 2 balls and a strike to Workington, 2 down here in the bottom of the first. That one didn't miss by much, evens the count 2.
Yeah,
we're going to say 3-1, excuse me.
And we got Kevin the Furminator Furman behind the dish today, and we know his zone's a little bit tighter than most in the Frontier League.
Yeah, he doesn't sway. He's one of those guys that you got to find it. When you do, you stay locked in. Oh, that bat came out of.
It's up there.
And that one hit Hernandez on the backswing. It looks like he's okay. Workington, the bat came out of his hand. Hopefully he's okay.
The other umpires today, Sam Clark at first base and Michael McGloon at third, going to be making the officiating calls today. And Bill, for the one of the first times in a while, we see the wind blowing out today, so that could definitely help a guy like Matthew Workington, who he doesn't take much for him to drive it out of here.
No, he doesn't, and we've seen him hit one straightaway center field. We've hit bombs to left field. This is definitely a powerful batter. Here's the 3-2 pitch. This one popped up mile high. Freeman camping under it, just in short right. Oh, and that wind, what wind we have, blew it just beyond, and he was able to make an acrobatic catch. And the Slammers go down 1-2-3. It's 1-0. Top of the second coming up here on the FloBaseball Game of the Week.
Monday warrior, mean stride. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride.
Top of the second here at Dooley Health and Care Field. It's 1-0 Grizzlies. It's going to be their 5, 6, 7 due up here in the top of the second. Here on the FloBaseball Game of the Week. Friday, opener of a 3-game series before the All-Star break kicks off on Monday, but the festivities really kick off on Tuesday. If you want to see a lot of things that you normally wouldn't see in an all-star game, head over to Crestwood. You're going to have bunting, you're going to have home run derby, you're going to have a little bit of everything. First pitch popped up, third base, Salas going over toward the dugout, and Falsetti, what a play by the catcher. Acrobatic catch, and out number 1, and what a play, Thomas. That was amazing.
And quite literally a snow cone catch. You saw that ball just peeking out of the tip of Falsetti's glove, but that's what they Slammers have been looking for all season behind the dish, is somebody who has the elite defensive skills necessary to be behind the plate, and Falsetti just showed him off right there.
You're a catcher, correct?
I used to be, yes.
So you understand that mitt. I've tried to catch in one of those things, and it's such a different glove. It's like 2 big pillows and then a pocket in the middle.
Right, you have to catch in between, and catching a fly ball, even a pop-up in general, is a ground ball. Salas will make that throw over, but just catching a pop fly in general with a catcher's mitt. I mean, they teach you want to face towards the bleachers, towards the backstop. You don't want to try to catch it towards the field. And to be running over like that and trying to make essentially a sliding grab like Falsetti just did, I mean, not an easy play at all. And he just, I mean, you thought Salas was going to make the grab, and then you see Falsetti raise the glove. I mean,
I thought Falsetti didn't
almost
have
a little
a chance.
Houdini trick.
Yeah, and it's weird because that's 2 plays that we've seen where that ball got up just above where the sweets are, and it looked like Falsetti, as you mentioned, he had to reach back to get it, and we saw that last time with Freeman at first base for the Grizzlies. This one hit back to Ofterhide, and it's going to be a 1-2-3, just like that. Grizzlies are gone. Slammers coming up. They still trail 1-0 in the bottom of the second. Coming up here on the FloBaseball Game of the Week.
Heard it from a friend who heard it from another. You've been messing around.
You ever think about making the pillow fort to end all pillow forts?
All the time.
We missed our moment. This is just like the 3rd grade when I missed Billy Russo's birthday party.
It's okay. We're constantly moving stuff around to make room for new products. We have over 55,000 items in stock and ready to roll.
Am I too late?
2 great ball clubs, 1 Darvin Furniture and Mattress.
Dr. Pepper and cream soda's here. A new combo that's music to my ears, okay. Let's play. Cream soda and Dr. Pepper time. The treat that treats you right. Pour it in a glass of wine. New Dr. Pepper and cream soda. A delicious duet.
All right, welcome back. Bottom of the second. Grizzlies lead 1-0. And it's going to be Phillips steering Matt McGarry and Lane Barrymore. A chance for us to get a hit, get some runners on, and see what we can do up against the ace, Colin Sullivan, and his powerful Gateway Grizzlies offense. And that was really good. Cam really needed a rebound inning, and he got it right there. 1-2-3 with some spectacular plays by the defense.
Yeah, after having an interesting first inning where he gets 1 pitch on 1 out, then he turns around and gives up a home run on the next pitch. He had a great inning there. Up, 3 down. No really hard-hit baseballs at all. A couple pop flies, and he was able to get some big outs. I mean, some big bats in the Grizzlies lineup, top down. But for the Slammers now in this inning, you take a look at kind of the numbers for them. It's Liam MacArthur leading the way at 321. And there is no other Slammers player hitting above 300. And then you look at the Grizzlies, and they have 5 hitting over 300, including 1 hitting over 400 in Gabe Holt.
Well, I tell you, this is a well-deserved break coming up. This is a way to kind of catch your breath. Okay, the first half didn't go well last year. The Slammers picked it up in the second half and just fell apart those last 2 away series. And they actually had a chance to make the playoffs, and they just were on the outside looking in. This time, they need to get some positives going here. They're down 1-0, but, I mean, we know that every team is beatable. They have lost 16 times. It doesn't mean that we can't beat them. And we need to go out there and prove and get some momentum going here, Thomas, I think is very important for the Slammers here, especially tonight. You only have 2 more games after this, and then you're off for a week.
Yeah, especially when Gateway swept them in, I mean, dominating fashion last time. 13-5, 11-6, 21-14.
There's a shot into right center. Coming over is Rivera, and stepping in front of him is Richards for out number 1. That's going to bring up Matt McGarry.
Yeah, as I was saying, getting swept by Gateway last time. You know, you look at, the opponents for the Slammers, and this is a division matchup, right? Gateway at the top of the division. These are matchups where you have to win at least 1 or 2 in the series. You cannot lose all 6 against an opponent, especially in your own division, because that can change your, being 3rd place versus 4th place.
And you mentioned there's 5 teams at 21-27, so every win moves you up, every loss drops you down. So And that's a situation you don't want to be in, because you've played baseball, I've played baseball. You don't want to play catch-up. You want to be able to kind of set the table for yourself. You don't want to have to be depending on others and scoreboard watch to get where you need to be.
Yeah, if you tend to be losing, if you lose a game or two in a row, you tend to start losing a little bit more. So momentum is a huge thing. It might seem like something that just happens game by game, but it really is. If you start losing 3 games in a row, McGarry down on strikes there. If you start losing 3, 4, 5 games like the Slammers have in a row, that starts spiraling and it adds up quickly. And we looked at it last season where the Slammers went on, 5, 6, 7 game losing streak, and that ended up costing them from making the postseason.
It's funny, games such as baseball, it's contagious by winning and it's contagious by losing. You see teams go on streaks and runs, and right now we're on a 5-game slide, and we need to find a way to get back into this win column. And gaining momentum, beating a team such as Gateway would put you back in that right frame of mind. You get a couple days to think about what's going on. Then you head off to Three Rivers for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then you're off on the 17th, and then we welcome in Schaumburg and Lake Erie. That one right up the middle, and Sullivan had to do a tap dance to get out of the way.
Yeah, good swing from Lane Barrymore there. Gets the first hit of the game for the Slammers. But as you said, opportunity for the Slammers to come back after the All-Star break and get some big wins. But, you look at their schedule so far this year, and they kind of missed out on some big series wins.
Yes.
Quebec, Ottawa in the bottom half of the East Division weren't able to get very many wins there. And then they were able to get 2 against Washington, which was big. Then they were able to sweep Lake Erie, so they won 5 of 6. And then they headed into a series against Windy City, which they had a big opportunity to sweep that one as well and be on a big winning streak. And they lose 2 or 3 there and really set the tone for kind of this losing streak coming up.
And I think the backbreaker right there, as you mentioned, they got blown out in that first game 10-4. Then it went 10 innings, losing 9-8. They did come back, Castro with that 2-1 win on the 29th. But you look at that, and when you start looking back, good swing there behind Tyler DePreda-Johnson, a team wants to look forward. They don't want to look over their shoulders and look back and say, man, woulda, coulda, shoulda. And that's what I think Joliet's doing right now. They're trying to find who they are, a designation. What kind of team are we? They should have figured that out earlier in the season, but right now they're struggling, and they're trying to figure out who they are and what they want to be. And this break is a perfect time coming up as they can make a second half push, and it all starts right here with this 3-game series with Gateway. If you can get some wins like you mentioned, I think that is a big plus. Tyler DePreda-Johnson goes down swinging. That's the 3rd strikeout for Sullivan tonight. That brings up Will Solis. Or Sullivan mixing up his pitch as well, and that will be it for the Slammers. Gateway coming up in the top of the 3rd, still leading 1-0 here on the FloBaseball game of the week.
All right, Slammers fans, get on your feet. It's time for the big wrong.
Top of the 3rd, 1-0. Grizzlies with the lead, and they will bring up Rivera, Hernandez, and Gabe Holt here in the top of the 3rd. Slammers getting a lone single last inning. 1 hit just like the Grizzlies. Unfortunately for the Grizzlies and for the Slammers, that one went over the right field wall. Taking a look at the dimensions, 348 in left. Straightaway here at Dooley Health and Care Field, 400, and the short porch in right at 327.
Yeah, that one flew over the short porch in right field, as you said, and it got out of here in a hurry for sure. Richards was able to clobber that one, and now Rivera, and get this, Bill, the worst hitter in the lineup tonight for the Grizzlies, and he's hitting 221 with a 368 on-base percentage. Not bad at all. I mean, not necessarily where you want to be, but if your worst hitter's hitting 221, that's a pretty good problem to have.
It is. Wow, that was a pitch clock violation right there on Cam Ofterhide. And that was one of those that I didn't even see happen. I didn't even know that the pitch clock was on at that point.
Yeah, so now it makes it 2-1 as opposed to 1-1 on the count.
Well, that's something we haven't seen very often since they initiated that back on June 1st. This one fouled back, evens count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Alex Hernandez on deck, followed by Gabe Holt. Yeah, it's been pretty clean on the disengagement rule and the pitch clock so far. There's one down to Tyler DePreda Johnson, scoops it up. That's automatic over to Workington for out number 1.
Yeah, the guys have become pretty acclimated with the pitch clock to this point, and you haven't really seen it affect too many games late. You've seen it a couple of times, in the early innings, but no issues really come, big game situations where the pitch clock plays a role.
And Mike Falsetti having a couple words with Kevin Furman. And that conversation didn't last long.
Yeah, I wouldn't have too many words with the Furminator.
Dan Schlereth, being a former Major League Baseball pitcher, had no gripes with that. Nice off-speed curveball there by Ofterhide. Evens the count 1-1.
And that's the thing about Ofterhide is he can get in a rhythm pretty quickly, and you can see the off-speed pitch working here, and then finds a corner there, and he gets in a groove, and he can get going. And he finds his rhythm, sets in his zone, and he's hard to hit.
Sure is. See what he does here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And game of cat and mouse continues as Hernandez gets his 1 step out, chokes up on the bat. Here's a 1-2 pitch by Ofterhide. That one drilled to left. That one's going back, and Barrymore will come back in on it, and looked like that one was going a little bit farther than it was, and then it just died, and Barrymore made the catch for out number 2.
Yeah, sounded good off the bat, but just didn't carry at all for Hernandez, who flies out to left field. Lane Barrymore casually jogs over and gets that one, and Lane Barrymore has been a good addition to the outfield, kind of being inserted more and more into the lineup as the season's gone on. He's played well defensively this year.
Boy, Holt again, he's only taken 2 swings. One was a pop-up, and that one was a single.
Yeah, and we've seen one on each side almost getting drilled were the pitchers, and
yeah, you're going to have to start wearing goalie equipment out there.
Well, like in softball, you wear the face mask. I mean,
yes.
You're going to have to wear like you give them catcher's gear.
Now what do you do? I know. I mean, that would be something. I mean, you got to have some kind of protection out there. I know that at one point they were talking about protective helmets for pitchers that would stop a lot of line drives off the heads of these pitchers, and that's kind of went to the wayside. And Jarius Richards in here, we know what he can do. He put one over the right field wall to make it 1-0. Holt on first, big swing and a miss, quickly down 0-2.
Yeah, Richards hitting .333 coming into this game, .457 on base percentage, hit his 7th home run and his 30th RBI on the year. So able to reach that 30 mark this season.
Let's see what Holt does here. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on the high cheese, and just like that, the Slammers are out of that base hit by Holt, and the Slammers will be coming up here in the bottom of the 3rd. They trail 1-0 here on the FloBaseball game of the week.
The University of St. Francis in Joliet is a welcoming community of learners, ready to make you feel right at home. With a diverse student body that is a reflection of the community we serve, our students say over and over that USF truly feels like family. To get the excellent education and promising future you deserve, visit stfrancis.edu. Our home is your home. Make yourself comfortable at USF.
Got a new arm in the lineup? Hold on. I'm here, but it's Darvin Furniture and Mattress. Who's the new arm?
Did I say arm? I meant armchair.
Oh, I want the same in pinstripes. Is that all you got?
Ooh, hey boys, please stop playing in the showroom. 2 great ball clubs, 1 Darvin Furniture
And Mattress. Who's the new arm?
Did I say arm? I meant armchair.
Oh.
What's going on, Slammers fans? John here. Hot start for the Grizzlies, a solo home run over the left field wall, but since then been quiet on both ends. However, we've seen an impressive amount of defense from both teams so far. Now, we've talked about all season, and I will say it again and again and again. The Slammers rank first in fielding and in defensive awareness, so they're the best team defensively. There's no question about that. However, the Grizzlies, they are 4th and sometimes tied for 5th place depending on what game it is and when it goes back and forth. But this is also a really good fielding team, but they're first in hitting, they're first in extended hitting, and they're about 3rd or 4th in pitching. So this is going to be a tough game for the Slammers on every end of the field. So they really got to do whatever they can to get runs on the board. But right now, it is completely well in their grasp to take this game back from the Grizzlies. So, Bill, Thomas, back to you guys.
Welcome back to Dooley Health and Care Field. Thank you very much for that report there, John. It's going to be Will Salas, Mike Falsetti in the top of the lineup. Matt Feinstein going up against Colin Sullivan, who's been pitching a gem here, a one-hit shutout up to this point here in the bottom of the 3rd, Thomas. And Cam Ofterheid's not pitching a bad outing neither. Just giving up that one pitch that got away from him.
Yeah, not a bad outings or not a bad start from Cam Ofterheid, and Sullivan just doing what he does best and just being dominating. And gets another strikeout there. His 4th already of the game. Will Salas didn't like it, and that's the first out. And he's been solid, Sullivan, all year for the Grizzlies. Just a hard-throwing right-hander, but his location and his ability to control his pitches is what makes him so good.
Yeah, at that point, you got to start locking in on what he's doing, and if you think that pitch is out of the strike zone and it's being called there by Kevin Furman, you might want to rethink your approach at the plate. That one at 92 miles per hour, because if he can control that strike zone, Thomas, it's going to be a long night for the Slammers in the box.
Yeah, the Slammers got to get something going quickly, and Falsetti's got to get it started. The Slammers offense, one of the worst in the Frontier League this season. They've shown flashes of offensive potential, especially with Matthew Workington, Liam MacArthur, and we know that guys like Scott Holzwasser, Phil Steering, Matt McGarry, Lane Barrymore, all of them can hit the ball very well. Just haven't been able to do it this season.
There's a hard hit into right, but coming in and making the catch is Richards for out number 2. It looked like that one had a little bit of a tail to it.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of a jam shot, but Falsetti had enough strength to keep it in the air for Richards, and Richards was able to sprint under it and make the grab for the 2nd out.
Well, Matt Feinstein struck out to start the contest in the bottom of the 1st for the Slammers. See what he can do here. Back foot outside, almost outside the batter's box, really close to the plate. One of these guys that likes to crowd Sullivan, but we've seen what Sullivan can do. He'll move you off that plate a little bit and throw an off-speed pitch in there. We've seen 92. We've seen that one at 85. So he can mix it up well, speed, and he adjusts his pitches in the strike zone, too.
Yeah, that off-speed pitch right there. Nice curveball at 85. A lot of movement on it. It really comes like 11-6 if you're looking at a clock.
This one pops straight up, a mile high. Diaz camping underneath it and straightaway center, and he'll squeeze that for out number 3. And Colin Sullivan is on a roll. The Grizzlies come up 1-0 in the top of the 4th. Coming up next here on the FloBaseball Game of the Week. We'll be right back.
If Philly Garcia didn't have the fighting spirit to drive his ambition, he never would have left home for LA with only his car to sleep in. If he listened to those who rejected him, he never would have sold that car to pay for his dream. And if he lacked the will to improve his craft, he never would have made a name for himself, lining up some of the biggest names in pro sports. That's the fighting spirit. That's what makes a lion. Modelo, root for those with a fighting spirit.
When an inland hurricane called the derecho cut a path through the Midwest, we learned some lessons. We learned that most buildings cannot withstand 140-mile-per-hour winds, not to mention most oak trees. We learned that when your roof is gone or there's a tree in your living room, even 8 hours is too long to wait. But most of all, we learned that in hardship, people take care of each other. And that has been our silver lining.
Top of the 4th inning here at Dooley Health and Care Field. I'm Bill Downing, joined by Thomas English. And earlier, you were watching the NBA
Summer League.
The Summer League out in Las Vegas, I believe.
Yes, their Summer League in Vegas officially started today. First games of the day.
Already.
Yeah, Bulls in action right now, actually, taking on the Toronto Raptors, and we know you with Windy City. And lots of action there.
9:05.
Yeah, they lead 72-65 over the Raptors.
Yikes.
Bulls do, and
well, I tell you, they got a lot of things to figure out in the offseason. I mean, they've got players, but and there's a shot down to second, gobbled up by McGarry over to first for out number 1. What a play there by McGarry. Had to short hop that one. And
yeah,
went
down to the knee, got up, had plenty of time on the hot shot from Andrew Penner, who's now 0 for 2. And now Peter Zimmerman come back up. But yeah, as you said, a lot of work to do. Still trade rumors floating with Zach LaVine.
I mean, what do you do in that situation? I think there's a lot of big stars on these teams that, teams are starting to go away. First pitch swinging, that's a single into left field. And Zimmerman didn't miss that one. And that's the 3rd hit for the Grizzlies. And a 1-out single. That brings up Abdiel Diaz.
Yeah, and as you said, a lot of superstars available, and a lot of people, a lot of Bulls fans in the area thinking that maybe Zach LaVine's being potentially a part of the Damian Lillard to Miami trade, but there's the issues there with that, and Bulls are kind of getting older and going in the wrong direction right now. But they did have a couple good signings: Javon Carter, point guard, and Torrey Craig, a good wing player, good three-point shooter.
Wasn't so sure about all that money for Colby White. That's kind of...
Yeah, Colby White, double play ball here.
And just like that, a 1-6-3 double play. And like Thomas says, that's what we needed, that's what the doctor ordered, and that's what we got. Slammers coming up in the bottom of the 4th, still trail 1-0. It's a close one here at Dooley Health and Care Field on the FloBaseball Game of the Week. Scott Holzwasser, Matthew Workington, and Phil Steering due up here in the bottom of the fourth, still 1-0. And I can't believe I forgot this. It took me 4 innings to remember. Lonnie Wilkins, play-by-play voice here for the Slammers down in Florida. His 30th birthday today.
Ooh, he might not want us to say the age.
Okay, 35, maybe 40, but no, 30 years old 30. Down there. Happy birthday, my friend.
The big 3-0. Happy birthday, Lonnie.
Yes.
He's enjoying a good birthday.
He is. He went to the Rays game, I believe it was last night.
Yes.
And he's going to one of the games, or maybe 2, against Atlanta. So that's going to be a great series.
Rays,
he's gonna see.
Yeah, Rays trailing 2-1 right now in the top of the 7th, but Tampa Bay having a phenomenal season so far, and I'm sure it's making Lonnie happy to see that.
And there is another strikeout, number 5 on the night for Colin Sullivan, and Holzwasser goes down looking. He's going to bring up Matthew Workington, flew out to first base back in the first, and well, I tell you, Sullivan looking good.
Yeah, he's looking real good. That off-speed pitch has been right on the corner, and I think Furminator likes calling those corner pitches. It makes him feel a little bit good, I think.
Sure does. Yeah, I tell you, as a batter, you got to get accustomed to what's going on in that batter's box, because Sullivan is mowing him down. You take a look at, he's only given up the 1 hit, and that was to Lane Barrymore back in the second, accompanied by 5 strikeouts. There's a shot to left, and caught nicely by Penner. I thought maybe that one was going to get down, but that's quickly 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Phil Steering, who flew out to right field.
Yeah, and I wonder if the Furminator, he likes to give the corners a little bit more because he knows no one's going to argue with him, because it's not going to end well for them.
No, he is one of the best umpires I've seen. And
super consistent.
Respectful, and I mean, he is definitely a scholar of the game, and besides the fact that he's
heads up. Oh, gotta catch it.
A physically fit umpire. He really, nobody argues with him, not because he's physically fit. It's just his strike zone is consistent.
Yes.
I mean, the guy's consistent, and that's all you want out of an umpire.
There's never really any calls where you're sitting up here thinking, well,
no,
I don't know about that one.
No,
you know,
I agree.
He's pretty consistent, and we had the opportunity to talk to him a little bit earlier this season, and just a great guy.
Yes, he is.
Likes to have fun. He really enjoys, just being at the ballpark.
There's a pitch that one fouled out of play, and I mean, as you mentioned, him having fun. We call him the Furminator, and he enjoys that. And he has fun. We saw him in a series. Was it the last one or one before? And he took a baseball off the, it was the neck or the face mask, and that one. Well, we'll finish that story next inning. That's strikeout number 6, and again, the Slammers go quietly. Top of the 5th coming up. It's 1-0 Grizzlies here on the FloBaseball Game of the Week.
Welcome to Whiskey River Bar and Grill, Joliet's newest whiskey-inspired scratch kitchen, located inside the Clarion Hotel off I-80. Whether you're looking for unique crafted cocktails with friends or an intimate dinner atmosphere, you'll find it here. Open daily from 4 to 10, enjoy happy hour specials from 4 to 5. Follow us on Facebook at Whiskey River Joliet.
Welcome back to Dooley Health and Care Field. It is Princess Night here on a Friday night in downtown Joliet. Slammers trailing 1-0. And it's going to be DJ Stewart, Clint Freeman, and Eric Rivera due up for the Grizzlies here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, some big batters coming up. All-Stars DJ Stewart and Clint Freeman. And then Eric Rivera up for the Grizzlies, as you said. And for these two right here, DJ Stewart and Clint Freeman, it's been a great year for them that's led to that All-Star break as the nice bunt.
You're not going to get him. What a bunt, and he saw that Salas was playing a little bit deeper at third. And DJ Stewart, as you mentioned, the All-Star, made him pay.
Yeah, DJ Stewart hitting .328 on the year, .379 on-base percentage. Has 12 stolen bases as well and showed the speed right there. Has only been caught stealing once this year.
Yeah, and I suspect he's going to go, and he's going to go soon. But he's got to be careful because Falsetti's got a good arm, and he's going to take Ofterhide probably both of his disengagements to keep him close. First pitch in there, strike one.
Yeah, and maybe the advantage here for Falsetti and the Slammers is that Cam Ofterhide has a quicker motion and gets to home quicker than most pitchers. So he's going to have an advantage on Stewart.
Stewart with a 4-step lead. That one gets by Falsetti, and we can forget about the stolen base. Let's see what that one's going to be called.
And I think they'll chalk that one up to a wild pitch or a pass ball, one of the two. And then Slammers in trouble, a little bit of trouble here with a runner on second, and Clint Freeman up to the plate, hitting .254 this year, .322 on-base percentage, 34 RBI on the year, 8 home runs as well. It's second on the team.
This one fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and I wonder, does Stewart stay put at second? I know he's in scoring position. They're up 1-0. Salas kind of playing closer to the bag at third.
Yeah, Workington way back there, not expecting a bunt of any kind with the power that Freeman has. So Stewart here, an opportunity to potentially score on a base hit.
This one drilled down the first base line, but foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
This would be a big punch out here for Cam Ofterhide.
Yes, he needs this one. A pop-up, a strong ground ball to keep Stewart at second is what we need right here. Here's the 1-2 pitch. This one fouled again.
Yeah, something to the right side of the field is what Freeman's looking for. So if the Slammers can get a hard enough hit ground ball, they could potentially cut down the lead runner without any, if they don't hesitate with that ball. But they're going to have to be quick here with the speed of Stewart.
Well, he's been pitching a heavy dose of fastballs. Maybe you pull an off-speed one outside the zone. See if he can reach for it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stewart down at second. Swing and a miss. You're right. That's exactly what he needed. He pulled the string on that one, and that's his second strikeout. Brings up Eric Rivera, grounded out 6-3 last time.
Yeah, that's a big, big strikeout. You get one out in the inning for the Slammers, and came off to had a good pitch there. Now brings up Eric Rivera hitting .221, and Alex Hernandez on deck, who's hitting .167. So you get to the two end of the lineup hitters for the Grizzlies, and an opportunity for Cam Ofterhide to get out of this inning unharmed.
First pitch in there, a strike, 88 on the inside corner. And maybe this time Stewart goes.
Yeah, with how close Salas is to third base, not quite sure if he'll test it, but if he can get a good jump off Cam Ofterhide, I say why not.
You got the right-handed batter in there causing some disruption. That one lined over to right field. Nicely caught by Holzwasser, and the throw in cut off. And wow, that was a lot closer than Stewart thought right there.
Yeah, kind of a weak throw from Scott Holzwasser into Depreda Johnson. Kind of tried to do a spin move and didn't really read it well off the fly. But luckily he caught it and was able to get the second out. So it makes it a little bit trickier for Hernandez here. But they could have had a potential double play there with, like you said, Stewart kind of jogging into third base.
Well, the 7-8-9 for the Grizzlies has struggled. Falsetti on the inside portion of the plate. called ball 1 at 89 miles per hour. Hernandez, Gabe Holt on deck, and you don't want to see him, especially with the runner down at third. Here's the 1-0 pitch, makes it 2-0.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to see Gabe Holt, as you said, leading the Frontier League with a .435 batting average coming into this game.
And he's seen 2 pitches.
Yeah.
He flew out and singled.
Yeah. Hasn't wasted any time.
Nice off-speed pitch. That one chopped foul down the third base line. 2 balls and a strike. Yeah, you definitely don't want to have Holt up there with ducks on the pond, and then you get into more trouble with Richards, Penner, Zimmerman. It just compiles the issue. So we need to see a ground ball, a strikeout, pop up, something right here. Got to retire him. There's a soft grounder. Salas will come over, picks it up, throws it over to Workington, and that's what we needed right there. Hernandez grounds out. They leave a runner at third. Bottom of the 5th coming up for the Slammers. They trail 1-0. We come back on the FloBaseball Game of the Week.
Hello there, Slammers fans. John here once again. For those of you with a degree in color theory, you'll notice that the Grizzlies are wearing a little bit different jersey than their normal primary colors. That's because these are the Oso Pardo de Gateway jerseys. These jerseys are specifically designed for Hispanic community engagement and development in their community in Gateway, which is somewhere near St. Louis, I've been told. Very similar to the first responders jerseys and the superhero jersey coming out in a couple of games for Joliet. These jerseys for Gateway not going to be seeing a lot of playing time. They eventually will be auctioned off, very similar to how our jerseys here in Joliet will be auctioned off eventually. So middle of the 5th here, still both teams putting together a lot of good defensive plays and trying to get some more runs on the board there, but still 1-0 here in the middle of the 5th. Bill and Thomas, back to you guys.
Welcome back to Dooley Health and Care Field, bottom of the 5th inning. 1-0 Grizzlies. Yes, I'm not really sure what was going on there between innings as we're giving the double thumbs up to Shep. Let them know we're ready to go. I think there was a pitch clock issue out there. I don't think they put the full time on the clock. And I don't know what's really going on.
I don't even know
point.
if he's looking.
No.
Maybe he forgot.
Well, we didn't.
Well, they're about to get set anyway.
Double thumbs up to Shep and the managerial staff. Matt McGarry, Lane Barrymore, Tyler DePretta Johnson. Due up here in the bottom of the 5th, 1-0.
And we got some updates for you. Bulls win 83-74, and then some history being made in the MLB as the Atlanta Braves hit home run number 167.
Oh, there's a shot straight away center field. Going back is Rivera, still going back. And that's off the wall. Rivera's down. McGarry around second. He's going to go into third with a leadoff triple. And Rivera definitely shaken up as he made a great effort down in deep right center along the Aaron sign, but that one smoked by Matt McGarry for a leadoff triple, and that's what we needed right there.
Yeah, Matt McGarry able to get his first triple of the year, hitting just 156. Needed that for his confidence as well. Had 5 triples last year, gets his first this season, and Matt McGarry gets him on the ball or in scoring position, and now Gateway immediately bringing the infield in early in this game.
They must think that this is going to be a tight game right here. They want to cut down that run going to home plate. Well, Lane Barrymore a single last time up.
Yeah, and that ball was deep to right center field, maybe one of the deepest parts of the ballpark. And Rivera made a nice effort for it, just ran out of room, and that ball hit the wall on the fly.
There's a shot down the third. That one picked up. It's going to be a long throw over to first, and that got Barrymore. And it's going to bring up Tyler DePreda Johnson.
Yeah, Stewart over at third base kind of had to waft it over there, and Freeman had to catch it on the other side of the bag and used his agility to get out of the way in time.
This is what good teams do. They are able to get away from the adversity right here with a leadoff triple. They cut down the run, kept them at third, threw him out at first. One down, and Tyler DePreda Johnson with a chance to tie this game up here in the bottom of the fifth.
And for the Slammers this year, they're second to last in the league in triples with 4, tied for it with Quebec and New Jersey. So that puts them in at 5 on the year. And this is a team that's not slugging very well. Bottom of the league, 336. And bottom of the league in batting average as well, 226. But they have an opportunity here to tie up the game with the top team in their own division.
Sullivan pulled the string on that one. Here's the 2-1 pitch. 3 balls and a strike.
Good off-speed pitch there, missed the zone. Good plate discipline from Tyler DePreda Johnson.
Yeah, one of the best eyes in the Frontier League right here in Tyler DePreda Johnson. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Should get a good one to hit right here. And he did, and he swung right through it, full count. And the wind tunnel.
Yeah,
we can
making
hear
some
right
noise.
here the Starship. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on at third, leadoff triple. 1 down here in the bottom of the fifth. Here's the pitch by Sullivan. Swing and a miss and a big strikeout right there for Sullivan. That's number 6. And that brings up Will Salas, and Sullivan basically 1 pitch away from getting out of this jam.
Yeah, an opportunity for Will Salas to get a big RBI and put the Slammers in a tied ball game, but Sullivan is just dealing in this one. Just one really big opportunity for the Slammers right now. And Sullivan trying to shut him down.
And he has not lost much on that velocity whatsoever. It almost seems like he's getting stronger as the game goes. Our good friend Lonnie Wilkins able to see some history. I believe he's at the game tonight. So
yes.
That's a lot of home runs.
Yeah, 167, most ever before the All-Star break by a team. Home run number 167 hit by Sean Murphy for the Atlanta Braves, and they make history here tonight.
Incredible. They are just loaded. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Leadoff triple sitting over at third base by Matt McGarry. Swing and a miss. Sullivan now 1 pitch away from getting out of this jam. And we were kind of talking about teams going in different directions. Gateway finds ways to get out of the jam, and this is where the Slammers need to convert. They need to get this run in here in the bottom of the fifth. Here's the 1-2 pitch by Sullivan, and swing and a miss. 7th strikeout, and Sullivan is cruising, and the Slammers lead a leadoff triple at third base. Top of the 6th coming up. It's 1-0 Gateway here on the FloBaseball Game of the Week.
If Philly Garcia didn't have the fighting spirit to drive his ambition, he never would have left home for LA with only his car to sleep in. If he listened to those who rejected him, he never would have sold that car to pay for his dream. And if he lacked the will to improve his craft, he never would have made a name for himself, lining up some of the biggest names in pro sports. That's the fighting spirit. That's what makes a lion. Modelo, root for those with a fighting spirit.
Jukes out a defender. Now he'll kick this one over, and that goes into the net. Who pops it up in the air. Here's an opportunity. Scores! Send this over to Lysick. Lysick on the sideline with another opportunity. Here's a shot. Scores once again. Jake Lysick becomes the lead scorer for Steel City FC this year as Jake Lysick comes away with their 7th goal of the season.
Top of the 6th inning here at Dooley Health and Care Field, the FloBaseball game of the week. Bill Downing, Thomas English, and a huge missed opportunity right there for the Slammers with a leadoff triple, and they strand him. But you got to give it up to Colin Sullivan. He is dominating on that bump today.
Yeah, Sullivan has done a great job for the Grizzlies through 5 innings, 2 hits, 8 strikeouts, 4 of them looking too. So half of those strikeouts looking, and he's thrown just 61 pitches as well, so very efficient night. But Cam Ofterhides also had a very efficient night, coming into this inning throwing only 47 pitches through 5 innings.
And only 4 hits, and one of them unfortunately went over the right field wall, but it's been a great game pitched by him too.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look at those hits, 1 home run, 1 bunt, and then really just 2 solid singles.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, 3 solid hits for Cam Ofterhide and then a bunt. I mean, just really not a bad outing at all.
Nope, not at all. And if you're asking yourself, what are these weird lines all over the baseball diamond? Well, they tried, what was it, curling?
I believe so.
Cricket. No, it was cricket.
Cricket.
And there's a leadoff walk to Gabe Holt, and got to be careful right here because they will wheel and deal, and they'll keep things moving, especially with Jarius Richards up, and we already know what he can do with a leadoff, with a home run back in the first and a strikeout.
Yeah, we know that he can be deadly with the bat. Jarius Richards struck out in his last plate appearance, but looking to get back in the hit column. And we know Mike Falsetti's not afraid to throw behind runners. We've seen him throw behind runners at second base. We've seen runners throw behind runners at first base. So if
he's got a bullet arm, too.
Yeah.
He's got a good arm. And he comes out of that crouch better than I've seen most of these catchers here in the Frontier League. This one popped up. This will make it out of play over by the concession stand. My, oh, my.
Yeah,
that one didn't miss him by much.
And that is the line for the Creamery. I don't know if you can tell from your view, but that is the line for the Creamery, and I have seen some long lines here at Dooley.
I am telling you, the Creamery, my go-to, the hot fudge sundae. You can't argue that. What do you like?
I'm a big cookie dough guy.
Oh, that's good.
Big cookie dough ice cream. But I always switch it up, you know. Whenever I'm going to a new place, this is for us.
Coming straight back, folks.
Heads up.
Be careful. And that one just down below us. And the count remains 0-2.
Oh, man, who's going to get it? Oh, an LSU fan.
Oh, and he's going to do the right thing, and he gives it to the princess.
Yeah, nice.
You win the national championship, you don't need to keep the baseball.
Oh, and she just chucked it herself.
Oh, boy. Here's the 0-2 pitch by Ofterhide. This one.
Hello.
Whoa.
If right.
Yeah.
Oh, off.
If that one was fair, oh my.
I mean, that would have hit the school.
Yeah, that was an absolute missile off the bat of Jarius Richards.
Yeah, that's what we like to call a slice.
Yeah.
That
is my golf game right there.
Yes, right there, yeah.
Here's the 0-2 pitch again, and there goes Holt. And this one again drilled, and that one's going to bounce off the brick building in right. And there's a kid on the walkway over there, and I believe she's going to get the baseball.
How about that?
We used to have the soldiers, or the iron workers used to
they used
watch
to
over us.
there,
Now they're sitting underneath the first base dugout. And here's the 0-2 pitch. You got to keep this one outside. That's what Falsetti sets up. Here's the pitch by Ofterhide. He hits that one a mile down the third baseline. I tell you, Richards, he's got some power.
Yeah, he got some power, and he's definitely seeing the ball well. So if Cam Ofterhide can make a big pitch here, I think Richards is going to have a hard time holding off on one, so maybe try to throw one low in the dirt.
I agree. You got to throw something. He's looking at a fastball. Just throw something off speed. There it is. And he still made good contact. And that one foul, and the pitch count going up for Cam Ofterhide.
Yeah, you see some guys getting loose in the bullpen a little bit, just stretching and trying to stay moving, but nobody throwing yet. I'm sure Cam Ofterhide, as long as he stays clean, he's got another inning or two in him.
Yeah, and you know what? This is a really good outing for him, especially coming back after being injured. Here's the 0-2 pitch again to Richards. Now throw back over to first. Not a bad idea. You get 2 disengagements, and then the third one, you either got to get him out or he's going to be awarded the next base.
Yeah, and it's tricky for a pitcher with that pitch clock, trying to decide whether you want to throw it over or not and making sure that you get it over there in time.
Again, the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. What a pitch by Ofterhide. He pulled the string, believe it or not, at 89 miles per hour. That's, if you pull the string at 89, I can only imagine how fast the fastball is going tonight.
Yeah, that was a good pitch from Cam Ofterhide, something on the outside part of the plate, and you saw Richards swinging all arms there. He was not ready for that pitch.
No, he was definitely looking for something else, and that is a big, big out. But now you got Penner and potentially Zimmerman. There goes Holt. Throw down to second. Ooh, just in under the tag by McGarry.
Yeah, throw a little bit offline on the wrong side of the bag, but McGarry made a nice tag, thought he got him. Good throw by Falsetti, keeping it low, one-hopped it in there, made it a nice, easy play for McGarry. Just wasn't able to beat the speed of Gabe Holt.
Yeah, and they're not going to argue that one neither. That was close. But this is what the Grizzlies do. They just keep things moving. They keep the train going. Ofterhide, another nice off-speed pitch on the outside. No balls and 2 strikes. Kevin Furman making sure the scoreboard operator sees that. Another 0-2 pitch. That one, Ofterhide. Look, Holt back, throw over to first. Great play. And Penner is down, but that brings up Zimmerman, who saw the very first pitch last time with a liner right up the middle.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Cam Ofterhide. Smart play to look back the runner. I mean, if he doesn't look back, Holt can maybe take advantage of that and try to snag third base, but he does get the out, holds the runner at second. Grizzlies still threatening here, especially with Zimmerman up to the plate.
This one high inside for ball 1. You being a catcher, what kind of things are you looking at knowing you've got Holt down at second as far as your signals and your what kind of pitch you want? What do you do with a runner down at second base? How do you change that up?
Yeah, so if you can kind of tell that maybe they're trying to steal signs a little bit or tip them off, what my coaches love to do is they'll give me a sign and then they'll tell me it's the second one that they call. So they'll call a pitch normally, but then they'll call a secondary pitch, and that's the sign you give. And you can give 2 or 3 signs eventually, or sometimes we'll have them shake off a pitch, but it's really they stick with that first pitch. You know, you could do a bunch of different things as a catcher. You can, kind of throw them off a little bit. And that's, you see the disengagement here. But, yeah, as a catcher, you're really just looking to, maybe squeeze the legs a little bit, try to hide it a little bit more, especially use that glove if you can. They always teach you to kind of keep it on that inner left knee if you're a righty.
And there was a intentional, unintentional walk to Zimmerman. 3 pitches high and tight, and then that one not even close. So that's the second walk given up by Ofterhide here in the inning, and that's going to bring up Abdiel Diaz as a pop out and hit into a 1-6-3 double play. Pitching coach for the Slammers going to head on out there, but that wasn't a bad walk right there. I mean, you still got to face Diaz, but you put a very powerful Zimmerman down at first base, and he had 4 pitches, 3, right in on the hands. He's disciplined, so you're going to have to do a little bit more to get him to swing. But again, good eye, great hitters going to the All-Star game over in Crestwood, and that's going to be a game to watch if you get a chance. It's going to be fun to.
Well, it's essentially Gateway versus the East.
It is. You're right.
In terms of hitting, but
no lie there.
But yeah, for Gateway, it's a good year for them. Only having a few All-Stars last year, but Cam Ofterhide has looked like himself last year as an All-Star.
Falsetti sitting on the outside portion, and it looks like he crossed him up a little bit. That one inside. Falsetti was setting up outside. That one called strike one.
Yeah, and as you said, with Zimmerman heading to first base open, an intentional walk, and not a bad spot at all with Diaz coming up 0 for 2. And you wonder if pitchers are intentionally doing that or if they're just, maybe a little bit shy of trying to throw anything over the plate.
I think it's a little
bit of both. And they just get a little bit of jitters on it.
Agreed. I think it was a little bit of both, but he's ahead of Diaz 0-2. Let's see what he does here. Runners going. Throw down to third. And safe on the double steal.
Yeah, and Falsetti thought for sure that he had him. A strong throw, just a little bit high. And I'll tell you what, as a catcher, that steal to third base, you think it's a sure out when you get a good jump like that and a good throw. But you have to be so precise with that throw, especially to third base. And it's a lot harder than it seems.
Yeah, I agree, because that third baseman, he's running over there. He's got to find the ball. Then he's got to find the base. Then he's got to find the runner. You're right. Falsetti made a good throw, but that one was stolen off Cam Ofterhide right there, as they had about a two-step advantage. And runners now at second and third. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Diaz. See what Ofterhide has right here. That one into the dirt. Falsetti able, nice stop. And you got to have a lot of respect for your backstop to be able to stop something like that. You know it's coming. You got to be able to stop it. And you being a catcher, you know that when you call that pitch, you got to be ready.
Yeah, if you're calling an off-speed pitch, which a lot of times you are, even with runners in scoring position, you have to be ready to, get out of your initial stance, get into your secondary stance, which is usually more athletic, and just be able to block the ball.
Here's a pitch by Ofterhide. That one drilled.
Oh, man.
Down the first base side, and that one went between.
Yeah, heads up over there. We've already seen somebody get hit this year, and we're still not quite sure why there's no netting extended to the end of the bleachers, but thankfully it looks like everybody's okay.
Deuce is wild. This one fouled off again by Diaz. Now Ofterhide approaching 70 pitches. Yeah, that one, I don't quite understand that, because that ball, once it hit the bat and made it to the seat, you got to be paying attention, and even then, that's a blink of an eye right there.
Right.
Here's the 2-2 pitch by Ofterhide. Nice pitch into dirt. Falsetti will pick it up, throws down to first, and the Slammers get out of a jam, and the Grizzlies will leave 2 on. We'll come to the top of bottom of the 6th inning. I'll get it right. Slammers trail 1-0 here on the FloBaseball game of the week.
When an inland hurricane called the derecho cut a path through the Midwest, we learned some lessons. We learned that most buildings cannot withstand 140-mile-per-hour winds, not to mention most oak trees. We learned that when your roof is gone or there's a tree in your living room, even 8 hours is too long to wait. But most of all, we learned that in hardship, people take care of each other. And that has been our silver lining.
The University of St. Francis in Joliet is a welcoming community of learners, ready to make you feel right at home. With a diverse student body that is a reflection of the community we serve, our students say over and over that USF truly feels like family. To get the excellent education and promising future you deserve, visit stfrancis.edu. Our home is your home. Make yourself comfortable at USF.
Bottom of the sixth inning here at Joliet Health and Care Field. Slammers trail 1-0. It's been a pitcher's duel between the two combatants, Cam Ofterhide and Colin Sullivan. Only 6 hits between the two teams and 1 run. Sullivan doing what he has done best all night long, and he has been well in command, especially in the upper portion of the strike zone. And it's going to be Falsetti, Feinstein, and Holzwasser.
And Sullivan's been moving quickly as well, not wasting any time on that pitch clock.
No,
See
you're right.
here, I mean, going at 9 seconds still left on the clock.
Nice play over at third, and that was going to get by Freeman. And Falsetti will make his way down to second. That'll be an error on the third baseman, DJ Stewart. And we will take that any time of the day. You don't see that very often out of the sure-handed Stewart.
Yeah, Stewart just trying to make a throw across his body, just got out of the way. It looked like for a second that Freeman was just going to make the scoop nice and easy, and then you kind of saw him lunging out. A good job by Falsetti reading that, taking his flash look and advancing to second base, putting a runner in scoring position.
And maybe Sullivan realizes that, if I can say this and get away with it, he's struggling a little bit. Maybe he's fast pitching, trying to get these slammers to hit weak ground balls, but I'm not sure why he would change his pace, especially in this game, when he's pitching at that point. It was a 2-hit shutout.
Yeah, not quite sure what he's thinking. Maybe just trying to get in his groove. I mean, you can see here, consistently throwing at about 10 seconds.
There's a shot and nice grab, and that's going to be a double play.
Wow.
Diaz with the grab and the throw over to Holtz, and just like that, the bases are empty. What a play by the shortstop.
And I mean, have we not seen an all-star play from both of the middle infielders for Gateway tonight? We saw Gabe Holt in the first inning make a tough over-the-shoulder grab in foul territory on the right side, and then you see Diaz there laying out, and then enough time to get up and flip one over to Holt for out number 2 in a double play. And whoa there.
Yeah, that one came out of Sullivan's hands. And he's not liking that. And I can see Sullivan, it seems like he's been towing the rubber now on the third base side. And he's going to fast pitch here again. It's going to bring up Scott Holzwasser.
I mean, wow, that was just I'm still amazed by that play. Yeah. Full extension, too. Diaz, not a very big guy, 5'11", 165 from San Juan, Puerto Rico. I mean, he used all of that 5'11" body. He went full Superman here on Princess Night. I think he picked the wrong day.
He sure did. Well played. Yeah, that's definitely got to be up there for a play of the week. There's another high pitch, makes it 3-1.
I mean, Feinstein just trying to save Princess Peach, and Diaz was basically Bowser out there and took it away.
Well said again. Looks like Gateway might be getting something stirring up down in the bullpen. And that pitch is high, and that's the first walk given up by Sullivan tonight. And that puts Holzwasser in first, and it brings up the big man, Matthew Workington, with 2 down and a runner on at first.
Yeah, Workington an opportunity here to, with one swing, can give the Slammers the lead. And Sullivan, not quite sure what they're talking about. I mean, he's had a solid start. He's only at 67 pitches.
No, but it looks like he's struggling. You know, he's not getting the location he wants, and you can see the frustration building up, and it's hard to believe with a 3-pitch or a 3-hit shutout what you would have to complain about or feel bad about. But yeah, they definitely see something going on. And we'll take a struggle by an ace like this any day, but Workington needs something here. If he can connect with one.
Yeah, and that was manager Steve Rook going out to talk with his ace pitcher. And usually you don't see the manager quite often. You usually see either an assistant coach or a bullpen coach or, you know, the pitching coach head out there.
And I think that was kind of a wellness check right there. It said, okay, all of a sudden it feels like things aren't going right. You know, what's going on in your head. And you know, I think that was a good call. You're right. You don't see that happen because the next time he comes out, Sullivan is gone. Sullivan looking the runner back. Here's the throw. Runner goes. Throw down to second. And he is safe. Holzwasser looks like he came off the bag a little bit and then went back and gained a little bit of the pad right there, and all he needed. Now he's down at second base. And Workington, no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, we've seen a couple throws down tonight where the ball has kind of skipped in there, and it looks like the runners have just been able to get under the tag. Michael McGloon has been doing a good job of being able to be in position to see those throws.
This one fouled off. You're right, because he had to look around the player, and he had to look behind the base runner too, because it looked like Holzwasser came off the bag just a little bit, and he had to double check to make sure that he wasn't tagged.
Yeah, and that's one of those plays where Frontier League has if the Frontier League had replay, they might be looking at that one, seeing if he comes off the bag.
Do you think we'll ever see that?
You know, I wonder. It'd be hard, I think, with not a ton of camera opportunities here, not a lot of camera angles, not enough big enough crews, I would say.
Agreed.
You know, it would take a lot more staffing from the Frontier League to be able to pull that off.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Holzwasser down at second. Here's the pitch to Workington. He reaches for that one, pops that one off into the grass area, which when we left last time, looked like it was burnt, but with all the rain, it started to come back a little
It's looking
greenish.
a lot better.
Yeah. Boy, do we have a lot of rain.
Yeah, it's been raining quite a bit, and it's coming down quickly.
It is. Yeah, I've not seen that much rain in such a short period of time. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one down low, evens count, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on at second. Sullivan, his pitch count going up a little bit now. He's in the mid-70s. I think you're right. I think the manager basically went out there, checked up on him, says, okay, it's still your game. We'll see right here, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner goes, there's a shot into center, base hit, and we're tied at 1. Workington comes through with the single, and the Slammers tie it up here in the bottom of the 6th, 1-1.
Yeah, not necessarily sure if it was a hit and run or not, but if it was, it worked out well. Matthew Workington lines it up the middle. Scott Holzwasser with a big jump comes around to score, and just like that, the Slammers have tied it up at 1.
A little bit of small ball right there. You had a walk, and that come back to hurt you for sure, and then the stolen base. Now we'll see what Phil Steering can do. When he was out here for his birthday, he had one heck of a night, got the Rock City Player of the Game.
36th RBI for Matthew Workington, 48th hit of the year.
Swing and a miss, and I think they're starting to see Sullivan a little bit better, and I think Gateway realizes that. Now they're starting to stir things up a little bit in the bullpen.
Yeah, and it looks like they might get another righty out there. And Slammers, you mentioned Phil Steering, the birthday boy, just a week and a half ago or so, was able to get a huge game for him. He had 3 for 4, 4 RBI, including a 3-run home run.
Yeah, that was what a night for the birthday boy. There's a shot into center. That's going to fall in there.
And the lights come on at the same time on this street.
Almost like the movie The Natural. Back-to-back singles. And once I can get the number, I see number 3 down there, but he's not giving me enough. It looks like a Submariner.
Potentially a 23, Alec Whaley could be coming in, if that's what you got. Number 23, maybe?
I'm not sure.
And tough jerseys for the Grizzlies tonight, wearing their Copa jerseys.
It's their,
what is it? Something like that, Copa? Is that what it was?
For the Hispanics in baseball. First pitch swinging. That one into right. Richards will camp underneath it, and he'll squeeze that for out number 3. But the Slammers tie it up on a single by Matthew Workington, and when we come back, top of the 7th, it's 1-1 here in the FloBaseball Game of the Week. Top of the 7th inning, all tied up 1-1 here at Dooley Health and Care Field on the FloBaseball Game of the Week. Gateway Grizzlies in town for a 3-game set. Princess night, beautiful night here in downtown Joliet. And we're being treated to a pitcher's duel. It's 1-1, 9 hits between the two teams, and a costly error by the third baseman, DJ Stewart. And a walk and a stolen base. A little small ball right there, and Slammers have found a way to tie this up.
Slammers able to get a big hit from Matthew Workington, get an RBI single, and this game's all knotted up at 1.
And this is a big out right here. DJ Stewart, a ground out and a single. He advanced all the way to third. He advanced to second on a wild pitch and then moved over to third and was stranded there.
I mean, this is a Gateway team that has put up, tied for first in the amount of runs, 343 runs this season.
You talk about crooked numbers. Lonnie uses that term a lot. That's a crooked number. That's a lot of runs.
Almost 500 hits. Now, they are right at 500 hits on the season. After tonight, they'll be in that mark. I mean, just the numbers are just popping all over the place.
I mean, either this team is destined for records or things will slow down.
I mean, this is a team that struck out under 300 times this season.
McGarry picks it up, throw over to first. And Workington realized that one was going to be wide, and he chose wisely just to go after the ball with the speedy Stewart. And that's probably going to be an infield single.
And Workington kind of came off the bag a little bit early maybe, but I didn't think he was going to get Stewart anyway. And Stewart now, pair of singles in the game.
Yep, and he is definitely a stolen base threat, so they're going to have to keep an eye on him. Clint Freeman, ground out and a strikeout. 3 strikeouts, couple walks, and a wild pitch for Cam Ofterhide.
And now a pitch clock violation on Clint Freeman, so it's going to give Cam Ofterhide a free strike here.
Yeah, he's got to keep an eye on that. I mean, the clock is right there, and then Stewart goes. Here's the throw down to second, and they got him. He's out. I don't know. It looked like he stopped.
I would say I think something's wrong with Stewart. He kind of pulled up on that, and we saw it second to third when he was trying to beat out that fly out, kind of slowly jogged in there. I'm not quite sure what happened there. It looked like he pulled up, like you said.
He got about 4 steps away, and I've not seen that, and hopefully he's okay, but wow, he came up really short and then stopped, and I think Falsetti with a bullet throw down to second base, and just like that, wow, 2 down.
Yeah, I think Falsetti would have had him anyway,
I agree,
regardless, but just a very interesting play there.
Yeah,
and like you said, kind of pulled up a little bit, almost looked like maybe something nipped at him in his leg.
Yeah, that was weird.
I don't want to speculate here, but that was definitely a weird play, but the Slammers, they'll take it as much as they can in this big ball game here.
Absolutely. We're going into the 7th, 10 hits between the two teams, and we've seen it all. We've seen some weird plays, some really outstanding plays. I mean, possible plays of the week. We've seen some stellar baseball here tonight. And what we thought with Richards hitting that home run, second batter into the game, we thought it might be a long night, but Cam Ofterhide has locked this thing down tight.
Yeah, and that's what happens when he gets into a groove, is he just rocks back, fires, that off-speed pitch working.
That's why I love watching him pitch.
And that's why he was an all-star last year.
Absolutely, and he loves adversity too.
And this was a guy who was the ace for the Slammers last season. Cole Cook was a solid second rotation guy, but then Cam Ofterhide just really dealt last year. Hasn't done it quite this year, which has allowed Cole Cook to kind of flourish and become that starter and that ace a little bit more. But if they can get Cam Ofterhide going again and have him, Turner Larkins, Cole Cook, that's innings. A trifecta.
Now that one inside, evens count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ofterhide looking for his 5th strikeout tonight. This would be a big one going into the stretch. Rocks back. Here's the pitch. That one drilled into right field, but sitting pretty right there. Scott Holzwasser squeezes it No, it's almost like a 1-2-3 inning. Caught stealing with Stewart, and Rivera lines out. Bottom of the 7th. We're here at the stretch on the FloBaseball Game of the Week.
Dr. Pepper and cream soda's here. A new combo that's music to my ears, okay. Let's play. Cream soda and Dr. Pepper time. The treat that treats you right. Pour it in a glass of wine. New Dr. Pepper and cream soda. A delicious duet.
Welcome to Whiskey River Bar and Grill, Joliet's newest whiskey-inspired scratch kitchen. Whether you're looking for unique crafted cocktails or an intimate dinner atmosphere, you'll find it here. Follow us on Facebook at Whiskey River Joliet.
All right, welcome back to Dooley Health and Care Field. We're done with the stretch. It's going to be Barrymore, DePretta Johnson, and Salas 2 up. And we have a new pitcher on the bump for the Gateway Grizzlies. It's number 23, Alec Whaley. His 25th appearance of the season, 0-1 with a save. He's pitched 24 innings and with a 5.25 ERA and a really good strikeout to walk ratio. He's got 28 Ks. And he comes in for Colin Sullivan, who pitched an absolute gem tonight, a quality start. And somebody, unfortunately, is going to get this loss tonight there, Thomas.
Yeah, it came after Hyde Sullivan, both of them being solid, and one of them is going to get a loss, as you said, Alec Whaley. Kind of a sidearm pitcher for the Grizzlies. 6'1", 210, out of O'Fallon, Missouri. Was with the Grizzlies last season as well. And he has faced the Slammers twice this year. First outing came on May 26th through 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run. That was a home run hit off him. And then his second outing on May 28th in a 21-14 win, pitched 1 clean inning with a strikeout. Last outing came against Florence, where he gave up just 1 hit in 1 inning and a strikeout as well. So has had a very solid year so far in his last outing. As he strikes out 1 there, and he hasn't given up an earned run since June 14th. So
yeah, he's good.
Almost a month.
Quick question for you. So you go from Sullivan, if you were the backstop, if you were the catcher for Sullivan, and now you've got Whaley on the bump, going from a straightforward pitcher to a sidearm. How much of a difference is it behind the plate to catch someone like that?
It's definitely different as far as off speed, I would say. The off speed's going to come in more as a sweeping pitch as opposed to, a top to bottom pitch. It's going to come more right to left in this case, and that fastball potentially is going to have some tail to it for sure. Some arm side tail, usually depending on the arm slot, but a lot of pitchers, if they throw a 2-seam especially, that fastball has a lot of arm side tail to it.
Tyler DePretta Johnson, couple strikeouts tonight. Ahead of the count, 2 balls and no strikes. That one in there, strike 1.
And you can kind of see that right there. It'll kind of look like it's going to head outside of the zone and then just kind of snap slightly towards that outside corner. And that's where, sidearm pitchers love to live, is right on that outside corner.
Hit down to short. Diaz up with it over to first. For out number 2, it brings up Will Salas, and he also has a couple strikeouts to his credit.
Yeah, and I know we keep talking about how good Tyler DePreda Johnson is defensively, but Diaz has proven to be just as good defensively tonight. And I mean, maybe top 2 shortstops that we're seeing tonight in the Frontier League.
Totally agree with you. You talk about web gems. These guys, it's automatic every
Routine.
night. Yeah, it's routine for these guys. If you don't see a great play, you kind of wonder, are they okay? But no, these guys are really good. That one off the end of the bat. Freeman will pick it up over to Wally, and 1, 2, 3, go the Slammers. We're going to go to the top of the 8th. All knotted up, 1 apiece here on the FloBaseball Game of the Week.
All right. Who wants to go on a food run?
Got a new arm in the lineup? Hold on. I'm here, but it's Darvin Furniture and Mattress. Who's the new arm?
Did I say arm? I meant armchair.
Oh, I want the same in pinstripes. Is that all you got?
Ooh, hey boys, please stop playing in the showroom. 2 great ball clubs, 1 Darvin Furniture and Mattress.
If Philly Garcia didn't have the fighting spirit to drive his ambition, he never would have left home for LA with only his car to sleep in. If he listened to those who rejected him, he never would have sold that car to pay for his dream. And if he lacked the will to improve his craft, he never would have made a name for himself, lining up some of the biggest names in pro sports. That's the fighting spirit. That's what makes a lion. Modelo, root for those with a fighting spirit.
Top of the 8th, all tied up 1 apiece. And new pitcher on the bump, left-hander Tyler J. And for Cam Offerhide, he goes 7. Strong innings, gives up 5 hits, 1 run, that was earned, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. And on the other hand, Sullivan, he ended up going 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, which was earned, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. So both these guys having some career games here today. And I see people kind of rustling around the Slammers bullpen, but right now for Offerhide, I mean, it's his game. Well, it's not his game to win, but it should be. Tyler J. Gems. Hernandez with the first pitch, but it's going to come down to the bullpens here to get the win. And it's a shame that both those pitchers, somebody's not going to get a win out of those quality starts.
Right, good performances, as you say, quality starts from both guys. And now comes in Tyler J., left-handed pitcher out of Lamont, Illinois, 6 foot 185. The Joliet Slammers last year, 7 starts this year, just 1 appearance out of the bullpen, making his 2nd tonight. And fouls off for a pitch there. And he's 3-2 on the year.
Hernandez wants a little stickum.
Yeah, 3-2 on the year, 1 save, 40 innings pitched, 5.63 ERA, and 45 strikeouts. So he's a big strikeout guy. We saw him earlier this year at 14 strikeouts in a start against Empire State. And his last outing, pitched 2 innings out of the bullpen, recorded the save against Evansville. As Hernandez gets hit there.
Plunked. That was definitely not intentional. You can definitely tell, especially when it's 1-1, and that ball got away from him. Now it's time for a tailor-made double play, possibly. They're going to take a look at Hernandez down at first. That one stings a little bit.
Yeah, they're going to give him a little bit of extra time, I think, here, just to kind of shake it off. And that's not a good pitch, or not a good start for Tyler J., especially with Gabe Holt in the top of the lineup, due up now.
Yeah, this is
opportunity for Gateway to take the lead.
They're going to need a sharply hit ground ball to turn a double play here. This pitch by Jay, first pitch swinging. Holt looked like confused on that pitch.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe an advantage that Jay's got a little bit more velocity than Ofterhide, kind of throwing these hitters off after seeing him for 3 at-bats. Now they get a little bit of a hard-hander and a lefty as well.
I agree. You keep that pitch up.
Right there.
Nice, yeah. I mean, he's challenging him, and Holt didn't like that call, so he's going to step out of the box. But you don't. One thing I have not seen was a called third strike on the batter on a disengagement rule.
Look how much Holt is choked up on that bat.
Yeah, wow, and he hits that one into center field. Unbelievable. Like a tee shot right there.
I mean, that's just textbook 2-strike hitting there from Gabe Holt. I mean, he was choked up 2 or 3 inches at least on that bat, and just got the barrel right to it, shot it up the middle, and got a base hit.
Well, we've seen Briley Ware choke up on the bat, but that one right there, you're right. Looks like we're going to have a possible pinch hitter. Let's see who's coming up here.
Oh, man, I can't even read the number.
It's a pinch runner.
A pinch runner there for Gateway, which means that Hernandez will most likely exit the game.
I think that's Max or Mark Vierling. I think that's Vierling down at second. We'll get a verification on
we'll
that
get a
in
confirmation.
second. Yeah, those numbers are hard to see.
They definitely are. You could be close up there and still not see them. And now a bunt potentially coming.
What a pitch by Jay. That's what you need to do right there.
And I'm sure Falsetti really, really wanted to throw behind the runner at second. As you said, yes, Vierling in there.
And here's something you don't see every day. The Grizzlies 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. So it's definitely been a pitcher's duel tonight. Here's the bunt down the third base line. Jay will pick it up, throw down to first. Workington, nice pick.
Yeah, but a good bunt there from Richards there. Situational hitting. I mean, the guy hits a home run in his first at-bat, and now he's laying down a sac bunt. I mean, it's just what the Gateway Grizzlies have been doing so well is their hitters can do it all.
Now Gateway 1 hit away from taking a lead in this game. We're in the top of the 8th inning. It's 1-1. Andrew Penner, ground out so far tonight. This one hit into right. Going back, Holzwasser came in, and he's going to have to go back, and that's over his head. And the Grizzlies will take advantage of that and score 2.
Yeah, just not a good read from Scott Holzwasser. Paused there for a second and then tried to backtrack on it. Wasn't able to get it. That ball drops in behind him. Just like that, Slammers find themselves down 2.
Unfortunate right there, because I thought that Holzwasser thought that was going to be a little bit shorter, took too many steps in and realized that it was too late to one-hop the wall.
And it's a double for Andrew Penner, his first hit of the night, and he gets 2 RBI out of it as well. And Slammers down 2, 3-1. They're going to have to make some magic happen.
Yep, they only have 6 outs to do it. There's a pitch by Jay. 2 across, 1 down. This one hit into right, Holzwasser. Penner tagging up, and he will go to third. And it's 2 down, and it's going to bring up Abdiel Diaz.
Yeah, and I mean,
just takes the wind right out of your sails right there.
Yeah, you're cruising. Cam Ofterhide dealing. Tyler J comes in and just kind of a rough start. That hit by pitch. I mean, you go back to it, giving them a free base and bringing up the top of the order, and that's just what happens. You have Gabe Holt at 2 strikes. I mean, you had an opportunity here to get out of the inning.
You do. I mean, there's a shot straight away center. Feinstein, a couple steps back, and he'll grab that for out number 3. Not before the Grizzlies score 2 on a 2 RBI double by Andrew Penner. It's 3-1 going into the bottom of the 8th. Here on the FloBaseball game of the week.
Hello again, folks. John here. I said in the pregame show that Cam Ofterhide needed to take this game as a way to regain his rhythm and composure after being on the injured list for so long, and he definitely did that tonight. 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 5 strikeouts with 1 earned run, and that definitely kept the Slammers in the game for as long as it did, now that they're down 3-1. So the two concerns, or two things you got to think about with Ofterhide is, one, how long was his injury bothering him before he went on the injured list that caused him to put up some of the stat lines he did previously in the season? Now, another thing to think about is this injury he had going to return? Now, as the second half of the season starts in a couple of days, Ofterhide is definitely going to need to be a key player in the rotation as the Slammers make one last push towards the playoffs. So as Ofterhide ends the night with a well-game pitch, the Slammers need to come back and find a way to get this game back in thing. I'll be done for the night. I'll be back tomorrow doing color commentary. For the time being, Bill and Thomas, back to you guys.
It's going to be Falsetti, Feinstein, and Holzwasser. Now trailing by 2. A new pitcher on the bump, Brian Eichhorn, number 28, the righty. 8th appearance of the season. Zeros across the board. There's a pop-up to right by Richards. He'll squeeze that for out number 1. He's pitched 6 1/3, 1.42 ERA, and 13 strikeouts.
Picked up on June, a little bit before June, middle of June, by the Grizzlies, and has been such a good pitcher for them. Just giving up 1 earned run in those appearances. Last 2 appearances, he's pitched an inning and struck out 2.
Slammers, a little work to do here. Short time to do it. They're down by 2 after a 2 spot.
And with the pinch runner Veerling coming into the game, they'll have to replace him with a catcher. So they'll bring in Willie Estrada behind the dish now, replacing Hernandez earlier, who got on base by the hit pitch and then was pinch run for. So Estrada behind the dish now for
that makes a little
the
sense, because
Grizzlies.
he definitely did not look good after getting there's a shot into right, and again Richards squeezes that for out number 2, and that's going to bring up Scott Holzwasser. Pop out, strikeout, walk, and scored, and a stolen base back in the 6th.
Yeah, and this field just kind of seems flat now. You know, there was a lot of energy in the ballpark. Slammers were feeling good, tied up at 1 after getting some momentum with Matthew Workington, and now they kind of find themselves chasing from behind with really no momentum at all, and maybe a lack of confidence as well.
For Whaley, he went an inning, gave up nothing with a strikeout, gives way to Brian Eichhorn here. 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th, and the Slammers are running out of time. Holzwasser, swing and a miss. And I tell you right now, Eichhorn can't keep that head on.
Maybe got too much lettuce there.
He's got too.
Isn't able to keep it on the hat. You know,
Well,
the hair
well
pushes
said.
it up.
Like a
And
like
when
a
it's
DeGrom.
when it's blowing in the breeze, it comes up. And you
Oh
know
yeah.
that.
Yeah, he's
Here
probably
it comes
gonna
up
get him
again. Watch this. He's going to fix it again, I bet. Well, there you go. Pushes it back down.
I go to Sport Clips, so I got a free haircut. I know he's in town for a little while.
I was going to say, I don't really have that problem with the hat.
No, and I keep my hair short anyways. There's a shot into center. That's popped straight up. Rivera now takes a couple steps back. He'll squeeze that for out number 3, and the Slammers are down to their final 3 outs. Top of the 9th coming up. It's 3-1 Grizzlies, and we come back live here at Dooley Health and Care Field, the FloBaseball Game of the Week. Top of the 9th inning here at Dooley Health and Care Field. And the Slammers trail 3-1. Evie Ruibal, the new pitcher for the Joliet Slammers, gives way to Tyler J. Cam Ofterhide. Ruibal has some gusto, but as of late, Thomas, it seems like he's kind of lost his confidence, and he's looking to regain it. This is the perfect time to do it.
Yeah, after 6 saves early this season, and found himself atop of the save category in the Frontier League. He's now been accumulated 4 losses, 21 appearances here tonight, 18 innings pitched, 5.0 ERA, and just 23 strikeouts. His last few outings have been all right. Against the Otters, he had a couple good outings, as that one's grounded to DePretta Johnson. He'll scoop it, make the nice play over to first. But for Ruibal, he hasn't given up an earned run since June 24th. But on June 24th, he couldn't even record an out before giving up that run. And you take a look at some other outings. Just 1/3 of an inning against Quebec on June 7th, gave up 4 earned runs. Again against Quebec on June 14th, an inning gave up 2 earned runs, which took the loss there. I mean, he had 3 straight appearances where he was recorded with the loss for that night.
And that's hard when you're a fireballer and you have all the confidence going and then the wheels fall off. That's a tough one right there, but he's looking to regain that confidence. And when you got a backstop out, and that hit Kevin Furman. Looked like either in the ankle or the knee, and he's having a hard time getting up.
Yeah, that one, there's not much protection out there. He tries to walk it off. He appears to be okay. Sammy, the trainer for the Slammers, coming out just to make sure.
I tell you, a big guy like that, you would think he wouldn't have any soft spots, but I tell you, they found it a couple times here, and it's good to see that he's okay and he's walking it off.
Well, and I believe he wears shin pads or something of that sort under the pants.
I hope so.
But I know they don't usually cover the foot, and if that
right.
one hit him in the foot, then that definitely hurts. And I've felt that as a catcher before. You take one to the inside part of your foot, and that does not feel good. Because that's right on the bone, too.
Yeah, there's zero protection and no meat, basically, at that point. You're right. That's good to see that he's back. He's okay.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot more than that to knock him out of the game.
Oh, yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down. Some high cheese at 95 miles per hour.
And that scoreboard's usually a mile or 2, sometimes even 3 lower than what it usually is.
Right
yeah.
there.
Rubio kind of got that herky-jerky motion, kind of goes quick with it. Brings it in there fast.
Let's see if he does it again. Oh, he sure does. And unfortunately, that one was timed up perfectly. That one is long gone off the bat of Clint Freeman.
Yeah, Clint Freeman just sat on the fastball, and his swing was hard. The pitch was hard, which helped out a lot to get it out of here quickly for his 9th home run of the year and his 35th RBI on the season.
And they always say the hardest thing is to put the bat on the ball. When you're guessing right, and that pitch is right there in the strike zone, he hit that one a mile.
Yeah, he got all of that one, I would
there
say.
was no doubt about that one. And now it's a 3-run lead, 4-1. And Eric Rivera. I'm sorry, that is Rivera, sorry. Hernandez was replaced by Estrada. I'll get that right.
Yeah, and you saw that one get out of here in a hurry and just applies an extra insurance run for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things, damned if you do, damned if you don't. He threw that fastball and he challenged him, and he was up to the challenge, and that was a shot. Because I can tell you right now, Holzwasser didn't move. The only thing they needed to move was that car that the ball bounced off of.
Right.
Because that one was an absolute bomb. I don't care if that was 348 or not. That was gone.
Yeah, I think that one was probably a 350 or so.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe even more.
That was a bomb. 2 balls and a strike, 1 down and 1 across. And this one barreled up straightaway center. Feinstein will squeeze that for out number 2. And that's going to bring up Willie Estrada, who came in for Alex Hernandez.
And I mean, just when the Slammers had a ton of momentum, looked like they were, potentially going to be competing for the lead late in this game. And now the Grizzlies, just that offense coming alive in these last 2 innings. I mean, you look at the scoreboard, Grizzlies get 1 in the first, and then it's zeros up until the 8th and the 9th.
Yep. Misplayed ball, and now a solid home run. This one down to Tyler DePretta Johnson, and the Slammers will come up down by 3. Final 3 outs. Slammers got to get something going here in the bottom of the 9th. Here on the FloBaseball game of the week.
Tonight's 50-50 raffle winners holding a blue ticket.
Bottom of the 9th. 3 outs left for the Slammers. And we have a new pitcher, number 12. Okay, I wasn't able to see that.
Colton Easterwood. It looks like it's going to be. And the Slammers, I mean, an opportunity here. 3, 4, 5 hitters due up. Matthew Workington, Phil Steering, Matt McGarry. And they needed to get all 3 of those runs across the plate just to tie the game.
This is a very, very important leadoff hitter right here. You're right. This is something this is an urgent call to get a hit. We got to get something going here.
Easterwood, 22nd appearance, 2 wins on the year, 8 saves. 23 innings pitched, 4.30 ERA, 34 strikeouts. Saw the Slammers once, pitched an inning clean, and struck out 1 as well. His last outing came against Florence in their July 5th game. Pitched an inning, struck out all 3 after walking 1. And got the save. Has gotten the save in the past 2 games for the Gateway Grizzlies.
Eichhorn went an inning, gave up nothing, in line to pick up the win. That one outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And as you said,
someone dropped a keg next door to us.
Important for the Slammers to get Workington on somehow.
There's the 2-2 pitch, and there's a shot into right. Oh, over the outstretched hand. Richards makes a grab at the last second. That one would have been a telltale double, but out number 1, Phil Steering. Up, last time a single, 1 for 3.
And trying to give some life. A good hit ball from Matthew Workington, just wasn't able to find any green turf. And now Phil Steering trying, I mean, what juice do the Slammers have left at this point?
I don't know. They got to get something going here. They got to get a little confidence built up. I mean, Workington nailed that ball as hard as he possibly could. And Richards almost underplayed that ball. I mean, that one would have gone to the fence. Workington would have been on second. Things could have been a little different.
Yeah, nice sweeping off-speed pitch there from Easterwood. But, yeah, as you said, I mean, Gateway just making some big plays and keeping runs off the board, and that's the name of the game. If you can make those plays, those crucial plays at the end of the game especially, and score runs, you're going to win a lot of ball games, and they have done that this year.
9 strikeouts so far for the Grizzlies pitching staff tonight. And like you said, it was 1-0 going into the bottom of the 6th, 1-1. And then a misplayed ball in right field made it 3-1, and then that no-doubter home run.
And the Grizzlies, the Slammers can't get anything going here. The Grizzlies will gain another game potentially on the Boomers. Already a game and a half ahead of the Boomers, 4.5 against the Otters, and 10 ahead of everyone else in the West Division.
Crazy lead going into the All-Star break. But that's what you want to see. This one fouled off. Again, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And
good crowd here on Princess Night.
Quickly glancing at a couple of scores around the league. Washington winning against Sussex County right now, 12-5. Schaumburg is leading Lake Erie 3-2. And Evansville leading Windy City 7-5. So potential for the Slammers to continue falling.
Thought he went, but full count now. Lake Erie, after getting swept by the Slammers, they turn around and they sweep Evansville. And, I mean, some high scores, some weird numbers. When you're on, I can tell you that. And we're looking at one of the best teams in the Frontier League. This one down the third base line, but foul.
Skips up there.
Kids didn't realize that.
Now they got it.
What that
And
one
there we
kid
go.
did, heck yeah.
Nice souvenir for the night.
Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. Still steering. Hits this one straight away center field. Going back, Rivera just shy of the warning track for out number 2. And Matt McGarry, the final hope for the Slammers here tonight.
Yeah, McGarry really the only big hit for the Slammers tonight other than Matthew Workington with the RBI single. And McGarry had a leadoff triple back in the 5th inning. 1 for 3 tonight. Did strike out once and flew out to right field. A couple hard hit balls here for Matt McGarry tonight, and he's needed that confidence. And tries to square the bunt. I mean, anything you can do right now.
Absolutely. Anything. You got to get a runner on first. And McGarry on the night, strikeout, triple. He popped out. Ball 1 evens the count. Pretty quick game here tonight as we approach 8:45. Down to their final strike, off-speed pitch at 84. Easterwood.
And Matt McGarry here just got to put something in play. Don't leave the bat on your shoulder for sure.
Yeah, you don't want to go down without swinging. You are correct. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he's out. Just like that. The Grizzlies moved to 31-16, and the Slammers dropped to 21-28. Final score here tonight, 4-1. The Grizzlies, 4 runs, 8 hits, and an error. For the Slammers, 1 run, 5 hits, and no errors. Thomas, just not enough gas in the tank tonight to overcome the Gateway Grizzlies.
Yeah, a good pitching performance from Cam Ofterhide in his first start since coming off the injured list. And the Slammers just once again kind of the story that we've seen all season for them. Not able to provide the run support necessary to get a win like this in a big game, in a big series with the All-Star break coming up. Trying to head out on a good note, but now they find themselves on a 6-game losing streak. Got to turn it around tomorrow and get at least one of these games, or they're going to be heading into the All-Star break on a big, big losing streak and not a lot of momentum.
Well, folks, well said by Thomas. I'm Bill Downing. He's Thomas English. The Slammers lose Game 1 of this 3-game set going into the All-Star break 4-1. Thomas will be back tomorrow. And you're off Sunday, and so am I. So we're not sure who's going to be up in here, but give a big shout-out to Easy E back in the production and everybody on this production team to make everything possible.
And a happy birthday, Lonnie, as well.
Yes, and hopefully the Rays are winning, even though I have a feeling the Braves are really giving it to the Rays tonight. But it's okay. It's his birthday, and it doesn't matter. So final score here, 4-1. Slammers lose. They'll be right back here tomorrow night as we give way to fireworks. And Thomas, we're out of here. Have yourself a good night and enjoy your trip to Wisconsin.